Okay guys, so grab your chair, grab those sliders. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to begin today with a plank because it's always a good choice. Take your hands wide at the top of the mat and step your feet back 4 inches apart parallel. We're just going to do an isometric hold to challenge our body and get things warmed up. Now we want to make sure that we're not locking out the back side of the knees because that's going to spill our belly forward and put pressure on the low back. So you want to just think about adding breath to the back side of the knees. You want to draw the navel up and in between the shoulder blades at a diagonal. You want to give that navel a destination to reach for. The heels are reaching long away from the crown of the head. On every inhale, the collarbones are nice and wide. We also have breath in the elbows. We're just holding and breathing. We might even smile. Everyone breathe for me. Think about those inner thighs coming up alongside the spine. Let's go for 8 seconds more. Let's go for 6, 5, keep breathing for 4, last 3, this is 2, and go ahead and soften the knees, bring it all the way down. All right, so straight away we're going to use one slider and our chair. We're gonna mimic something that we do on the WundaFormer. I'm gonna turn my chair for demonstration purposes. You can leave yours where it is. You wanna have it on your mat, and then that one slider is gonna go right onto the floor. That could also be a sock or a washcloth, anything of the sort. We're gonna have our left foot a few inches behind the chair, and your right ball of foot goes onto the slider, okay? So the left foot is flat, and the right foot is on the slider. Here we go. We're gonna bend the left knee only, the right leg stays long. We're gonna exhale as we lower down into our best lunge. Notice that my head, shoulders, hips, and heel are in alignment. And I'm gonna ask you to place your flat left hand onto the chair. So it's gonna feel like when we put our hand on the ballet bar and our foot is on the front platform. Right arm comes up and long. Here we go. Now we're gonna inhale as we bring it all the way up, 2 arms long at the sides. Exhale, give some of your body weight to that left shoulder, left arm, and you'll feel the right hip and waistline working at a diagonal. It's an exhale here. Inhale, bring it all the way up. We're not pushing off of the chair, we're using our core to raise us. Exhale, crease deeply at the front side of the left hip. Really give some of that effort to the right shoulder. Kind of take a quick pause. Inhale, think about lifting the ribs off the pelvis as you come all the way to standing. Exhale, crease and lengthen forward, reaching the left hip away from the left knee. Inhale as you gather and narrow, rising up. Let's go for 2 more here. Exhale, really find that connection to that left shoulder girdle as you lower down. Lengthening to lift. We're gonna hold the next one down, gang. Exhale as you lower, receive some of the weight into that left arm and shoulder. Find that diagonal to the right hip and waistline. Here we go. Exhale, soften the right knee, draw it in, keep your toes light. We don't want to drill them down through the floor. You want to think about the toes staying light, and that's going to help you find the abdominal connection to draw that leg in. I know that left booty's on fire, mine too, don't worry about it. Exhale as we bring it in. Find some weight in that left hand and shoulder. Inhale, send it long. Let's go for 2 more. Try to keep the pelvis level. This is going to be our last one. We're going to hold both knees bent a lot. With control, we're going to come upright off of the chair. Arms are alongside the ears. Torso is now upright. We're going to lower and raise via the left and right hip socket. Exhale down, inhale up. Exhale, lower straight down. Inhale, bring it straight up. Plug the arms down into the middle back. Draw the navel up and in. If you're up for it on the last few, you can peel your left heel up. We're on the balls of both feet, equal weight on the balls of both feet. It's how we find the inner thighs and the core connection. Last 3. Think about those femur heads sinking deeply into the hip sockets. Let's hold the last one low. Hold and breathe for 5. All 10 toes are melting into the floor. Last 3, 2, inhale, gather, and rise all the way up. All right, let's go into a push-up with a slider challenge. So I'm gonna come onto my knees facing you so you can see what's going on. And we're going to have our right hand only, the heel of the hand, on the sock or the slider, okay? So you're gonna bring your hands forward about shoulder width distance, all 10 fingertips shining straight forward. You're gonna be on your knees and come into your best diagonal line, okay? So similar to that plank, but we're down on our knees now. Here we go. I'm gonna bend the left elbow straight back and send the right arm straight out, okay? So that's an exhale. Left arm bends, right arm is straight. And then inhale, drag it back into start. You don't have to go far. It's wicked, even going out just a little bit. Exhale as you lower down, collarbones stay wide. Inhale as you bring it up. Try to keep the shoulders and the hips level. Exhaling down, narrowing the ribs around the spine. Inhaling, lengthening for space between the vertebrae on every breath, guys. Let that left shoulder blade melt down and around the rib basket as you lower down. Let's go for one more here. Bring it all the way in. All right, both knees go down. From here, we're gonna go into a little side bending situation on the chair. So you're going to have your chair stable on the floor, and we're gonna put our left forearm onto the chair, and we're gonna bring our feet stacked. So you're gonna have your left foot below your right, and it's gonna look like this. Right arm comes up towards the sky, okay? And if this is aggressive to you, you can always bring your left foot in front of your right and hold like that. All right, I am gonna ask for the right leg to raise. So it's gonna look like this. We're gonna inhale, bring it up. Exhale, bring it down. I don't care how far. Inhale, think about that femur head sinking in. Exhale, put it down. If that feels aggressive to your body, left knee can come down and you can do it here. So we're still gonna find the same nice diagonal line. It's just a lot less aggressive if we have the left shin on the floor. Let's go for 4. Keep length on the waistline, keep your head in line with your spine. This is 3. We're gonna go for 2 more here and then we're gonna change it up. This is our last one. Hold it up and out. We're gonna sweep the leg forward just a few inches. I know, we're not here for long. We're gonna rotate internally and then back to parallel. That's it. Rotate that inner thigh back. Your toes will dip down a tiny and bring it back. So you're really gonna fire up through that glute med. Let's go for 2 more here, guys. Leg is long. This is our last one. And bring the left knee down and the right foot onto the floor. All right, guys, great. Let's go into our Wunda snake. So we posted this one on Instagram this week. I promised that I would help us translate it to the floor while we are at home together. So let's do it. If it feels kind of unsettled to you on your chair, keep your feet on the floor, same cues, all right? So we're gonna take our hands to the top of the mat. They're shoulder width distance, palms are flat. We're gonna lengthen our body back, standing on the balls of both feet. Now, if you're gonna stay on the floor, your right foot just crosses under here, like so. So your right foot crosses under. If you're up on the chair, we're gonna start with both feet on the chair, and then we're gonna slide the right foot under like so, okay? So starting position, hips are rotated to the side, shoulders are forward. With a flat back, inhale, as you pike up and back, pelvis rotates. Exhale, as you unwind. Inhale, as you rise up and back. Exhale, as you unwind. Keep working, just a few more here. Want to make sure we're not riding through the shoulder joints. So you don't want to send your body back and forth and back and forth. Think about the pelvis rotating and lifting you. Let's go for 2 more, you've got this. Unwind the pelvis to come back to that plank. And then pelvis rotates and lifts you. Unwind, I'm gonna meet you there. Hold that last one in your unwound position. We're gonna do another little leg raise with the left side, just 4 times. This is 3, stay with me. This is 2. And this is the last one. Bring your left foot down onto the floor, and then your right foot. All right, roll out those shoulders. I know, that's obnoxious, I know, it's all right. Okay guys, from here, we are going to go into a bridge using that chair. Make sure your heels go down into the chair, not pushing it away from you, okay? So we're gonna lay down all the way onto our backs first. Lay all the way onto your back. Get your heels down on the chair. arms long at your sides. No light between the knees and the big toes, magnetize the outer thighs. And we're gonna imprint the arms into the floor. Here we go. Pelvis lifts up with the glutes and the hamstrings, inner thighs and outer thighs active, middle back also active. So that's an inhale, pick it all the way up. And then we're gonna melt from behind the heart, lengthening the spine as we unfurl and unwind. All the way to neutral at the bottom, tailbone's heavy in the floor. Middle back is active, arms are active as you inhale, lengthening up, open the crease on the front side of the hips, melt from behind the heart. Think about this sensation of your spine lengthening as you roll all the way down. Arms are active, guys. Inhale as you reach, think about the knees reaching long away from the shoulders, melting from behind the heart. If you're feeling an overload or gripping in your hamstrings, I need you to activate the arms, imprinting into the floor and the glutes. Really recruit the glutes to pick you up, make it a whole body effort. Magnetize those outer thighs to get the inner thighs active, lengthening with breath as we roll down. And good news, we're gonna hold the next one up at the top. Here we go, hold it at the top. We're gonna keep a flat back, crease at the hips. You're gonna feel the transverse abdominis wrapping around your spine as you give yourself that crease. And then we're gonna send it right back up. Keep that flat back. Ooh, the hamstrings really wanna take over. Don't allow them to. Get the glutes recruited. Think about your glutes, sending the pelvis up. Creasing at the hips down. Recruit the glutes to send the pelvis up. Recruit the arms in the middle back. Magnetize those outer thighs, last 3. This is 2. And this is our last one. Holding here with control, melting from behind the heart, lengthening as you slowly set down the spaces between the vertebrae and come all the way down. All right, guys, let's stay down on the floor. We're gonna flip it over and we're gonna go into an exploration for our transverse abdominis, our deepest layer of abdominals. So here we go. We're gonna come onto our shins and our hands. So you wanna have your hands and your shins on the mat. We are going to keep the tops of feet flat. And then we're gonna do a little shallow curl in our upper back. So I'm just looking back at my knees, but I didn't go and drop the tailbone into a great big cat curl, okay? So it's just like a lift from under the lowest ribs, looking down at the kneecaps. Think about shins being very heavy, elbows being very light, and we're gonna visualize a hammock under our ribs to hover the knees off of the floor. Hold and breathe. Keep holding that lift. See if you can find that sensation of the burlap sack or a hammock holding you up rather than the external obliques gripping you in space. And go ahead and gently set those glass kneecaps down. Take a breath, we're gonna do it again. So we're gonna find that length in the spine, find that shallow curl from under the lowest ribs, shins are heavy, 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 elbows are light, 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 and go ahead and hover the knees off of the floor. Hold and breathe for 5. For 4, find that internal hanging sensation rather than gripping. And set the knees all the way back down. Good news. One more time, let's get it done. Hands go on the mat. This is the last time, I promise. Collarbones go wide. We're gonna nod the chin, round just the upper back a little bit, looking at the knees. Heavy, heavy shins, here we go. Think about that burlap sack, or maybe it's a big piece of saran wrap lifting from under your ribs this time. Keep working. Think about that lift sensation and a lightness rather than a gripping or a bracing to hold you up off the floor. Let's go for 3. Keep breathing, guys. That's how you get through it. Last 2. And gently set the knees all the way down. Roll out those shoulders. Nice work, you guys. All right, let's go ahead and take care of that chair situation on the other side. I'm gonna move mine. You can keep yours where it is. Come onto your knees with your feet towards the chair. We're gonna go into that snake first, okay? So we're gonna have our hands on the mat. And we're gonna take our feet onto the floor or onto the chair. So now you know what's coming, so you can choose either side of your body which way you would prefer. So we can step our feet back, closed parallel, left foot comes in front of the right, or I'm gonna step my feet up onto the chair, and we have closed parallel, left foot comes in front of the right. Start position, guys, pelvis is rotated, yeah? And then on the inhale, we're gonna swivel coming into that pike position. And then on the exhale, we unwind. And then on the inhale, we lengthen up and back. On the exhale, unwind. On the floor, it would look like this. So we're just gonna unwind here and lengthen up and back. So it's the same range of movement. We just wanna make sure that we're not hanging through the shoulder joint and that we're really allowing the pelvis to draw up and back. That's our keystone of movement. Rotate from the pelvis. Think about a seat belt drawing you up and back rather than your shoulders or hands shoving you. All right, let's go into that little leg lift at the top. So we have the twisted plank held. Pelvis is rotated to the side. Here we go. Top leg lifts up. 4. Keep breathing. 3. Try not to hang into that bottom hip or knee. 2. Last 1. And bring your foot to the floor or your knee to the mat. Nice job, you guys. So roll those wrists and the shoulders. We're gonna bring our right forearm onto the chair now, going into the leg raise on the other side. So right forearm comes onto the chair, legs stack, one on top of the other. You can always bring the knee down. And we're gonna go for the leg raise here and bring it back down. Extra effort, left arm comes up, floating up, bringing it back down. If that's aggressive, your right shin goes down. And we do the same beautiful range of movement. Just makes it a lot less aggressive, not balancing all the way on the end of that right leg. Lengthen as you lift, creasing at the left hip. Last 3, then we're gonna go into that internal rotation. Last 2. Good, you guys, let's hold this next one here. We're gonna crease at the hips, still keep your booty sticking out, and we're gonna rotate internal, and then we bring it back to parallel. And then we're gonna rotate internal. So think about that femur bone doing that spin through a stable pelvis. We're lengthening with breath. Last 2. This is our last one. With control, bring the leg back in line with the hip and slowly bring it down. All right, let's go into the lunge on the other side. So this time, guys, I'm going to have I need my chair on this side. This time I'm going to keep my chair where it is. My right foot is going to go onto the mat and left foot goes onto the slider. Right foot goes onto the mat, just a few inches behind your chair, and the ball of the left foot goes onto the slider. We're going to start with 2 straight legs. Hips are level. We're going to exhale as the right knee bends, left leg reaches long, right hand goes flat on the chair like so. So we want to receive some of the weight of our body into the right shoulder, and that's going to stabilize the pelvis. On our inhale, the upper inner thighs are going to narrow and magnetize to lift us all the way to standing. On the exhale, we lower down, receive some of that weight into the right shoulder. You're going to find the left waistline. Inhale as you bring it up. Keep working, gang. As we lower down, try not to ride the slider. We want to think about a resisting movement, like a pair of scissors, resisting to come apart as we lower down. And then you can think of like magnetized scissors, and they're really drawing together from the upper inner thighs to lower and raise you. It's not a push from that right foot at all, nor from that right hand. We want the ribs to lift off the pelvis to propel you up on an inhale. Let's go for one more here. Exhaling as we lower down, the left arm coming up and out is a balance challenge, not required. Inhale, come all the way up. This next one, we're gonna go into those carriage pose, all right? So we're gonna hold it down. Right hand is firmly imprinted on the chair surface. Exhale, really light left foot to draw that slider in. So it's just like we do the carriage on our machine, right? We're going to inhale long. Exhale as we draw it in, narrowing around the waistline. Try to find equal weight on the sole of your right foot the whole time. Knee is just in front of the ankle crease. And lined right up with big toe, second toe. Let's hold this next one with both knees bent a lot. Both knees are bent a lot. With control, turn your torso upright on an inhale. Plug the arms down into the middle back. Sternum is over the pubic bone. Here we go. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, bring it up. Both of our hips are working really sincerely, you want to think about the thigh bones being like a lever going through the domes of your pelvis. So think about those, really lubricating the hips, opening the hips as we are toning, sculpting, and lifting your booty. If you want to, you can bring that right heel, the forward heel up as well for the last few. Last 3. We've got that push-up coming in 2. This is our last one with control. Ribs lift off of pelvis, pelvis lifts off of legs, and step off of that slider. Okay, we're gonna come down to our knees. Come on down to your knees. The heel of your left hand is on the slider or your washcloth, whatever you've got, to glide across the floor nicely. We're gonna come into a kneeling position. Your body's in a diagonal line, and we are going to lower down, bending the right elbow, left arm goes outbound. Exhale to lower, inhale to bring it up. Keep working. I'm gonna show you from a profile. So when we are in our diagonal line, we want it to look like this, not like this. So get your hips down so your body's in a diagonal. We're exhaling every time the right elbow bends, inhaling every time we come up. Let's go for 2 more there. So we're exhaling to lower down. Kind of crowded in my little set here, so work with me. Exhale as you lower down. Inhale, bring it up. This will be our last one. Draw your navel up and in the whole time. Exhale, right elbow reaches straight back. Inhale, bring it all the way up, and go ahead and come off of that glide. We're gonna set it to the side, and we're gonna lay down all the way onto your back. So I'm just moving my chair out of the way. You're gonna lay down all the way onto your backs, and we're gonna go into a roll up. If you need to hook your toes underneath the couch or a partner nearby, that works too, or you can just have your legs long. So come all the way down onto your back. We're gonna lengthen the arms up towards the sky. The first thing that happens is we wanna find that lift from the back side of the head on an inhale. So think about your head going through the wall behind you as you inhale and lift. Hold, just your hair is up off the floor. Can you find the connection from your neck all the way down the front side of your belly to find just not too much strain in your neck, but more of a deep abdominal connection? And go ahead and exhale, set that down. We're gonna do it again. Inhale, lengthen the spine so much that your hair peels up. You should feel your abs holding your head up. And then as we continue to work, once the shoulder blades come up, we're gonna exhale as we slowly lengthen and rise all the way up to a seated position. Let's go straight away into a rotation. So we're gonna take our arms off to the left, okay? We're still anchored on that right sitting bone. We're gonna lean with a flat back, just 2 to 3 inches. Now the tailbone glides under us, and it's almost like we are lengthening or setting down the left side of the spine as we slowly lower down. Stay rotated to the left today. We're gonna inhale, pick up the back side of our head again. Inhale, inhale through the shoulder blades. Once the shoulder blades are up, then as we go into deep flexion, we're gonna exhale as we come all the way up, sitting tall. Stay to the left. Lean with a flat back. Keep your right sitting bone anchored. Melt the tailbone under you. Low back, middle back, upper back, all the way down. Stay rotated to the left. Inhale, lengthen as we reach. Really absorbing the weight of the head into the abdominals and the legs. Hold here. Now we're gonna rotate towards the right. Plug the arms into the middle back. Lengthen with a flat back. Tailbone rolls under you. Low back, middle back, upper back, all the way down. We're staying rotated to the right as we lengthen and inhale. And once the shoulder blade peels up, that's when we start our exhale, slowly rising in that rotated position. Lengthen with a flat back. Now we're setting down the right side of the spine as we lower into that roll down. All the way down. Last time we're gonna come up on this right side again. Inhale, lengthen as you reach. Can you think about going at the same speed on the way up through the whole rise rather than trying to race or shove your way through part of it? Sitting nice and tall at the top. Last one, we're gonna go through the middle. Inhale, lengthen with a flat back. Exhale as you roll the tailbone under you. Roll the low back. Roll the middle back. All front side of the body. I know a bonus round isn't really a nice thing to do, but you know, what else are we gonna do? We're home, we're together, let's make it happen. Melt the arm down into the middle back. Every time you raise it, try not to let the shoulders climb around the ears. Last 3. This is 2, gang, stay with me, find your breath. Last 1, don't go anywhere. We're gonna lay it down with control. Lengthening as we lower all the way down. Nice, we're gonna stay on the ground, all right? Here we go. Hands interlace underneath the base of your head. Pick up the back side of the head again. It's a narrow, or a long lift rather, excuse me. We're going to float the right leg into a tabletop position. We're gonna float the left leg into a tabletop position. Straight away, notice that there's no added wrinkles on the front of the shirt. And we wanna keep the natural curve in the low back. We don't wanna do one of these, look at this. We don't wanna do that. Keep your low back long, keep the front side of your spine long. Here we go. We're gonna downhill ski, keep your knees and toes glued together. We're gonna inhale, legs go long as we tip towards the left. Exhale through center, head, neck, and shoulders is staying up. Inhale, rotate towards the right. Exhale through center, keep working. Inhale through the left. Exhale through center. Inhale to the right. Keep working. If it's aggressive to your low back, don't send your legs out all the way. You can do a smaller range of movement like this. Keep working on your end. We want to make sure that the hips aren't rocking as the legs are moving. The legs are doing this. They're rotating to the left, they're going back through the center, and then they're rotating to the right and back through center. The pelvis is not invited to go with it. So smaller range of movement. If it's putting any pressure on your back, and you want to find that inhale to extend the legs, the exhale to draw them back in with power. Let's go for 2 more here, guys. We're almost to the end of the workout. You're doing amazing. Bring it back in on an exhale. Last one, inhale as you reach. Exhale, bring it in with control. Go ahead and set your head down onto the mat. All right, let's go ahead and go into 1 more downhill ski, this time with sliders. I'll show you what to do if it's not working with your washcloth or if you don't have 2 sliders, okay? So I'm gonna do it on the sliders first, and then I'll demo what to do if you don't have sliders handy. We're gonna take our hands shoulder width distance, and the ball of each foot goes onto the slider. We're gonna set it up in a plank, like a closed parallel position with our feet, okay? On the exhale, we're gonna soften the knees to the side, just like we did on our back. We're now just on our hands and toes. We're gonna inhale here, and then we're gonna exhale as we drop to the other side. Inhale back through center, exhale other side. Sliders are not working for you. What we're gonna do is stay on the mat, and we're basically gonna flip the movement upside down. So rather than the knees coming towards us, we're going to go towards the knees like this, okay? So either way, you're getting major waistline sculpting action, major leg toning action, because we're magnetizing the outer thighs the whole time. Try to keep your hips down. We don't want to let the hips pop up, and we want to make sure we're never riding the joints. So we're not riding the knees and hips if we're using the sliders, and we're not riding the shoulders if we're just on the mat. Let's go for 3 more here. So we're gonna exhale as the knees come in, or as we go back to the knees. Inhale to our plank. Here we go, last 2. Exhale as the knees bend. Inhale, legs long. Exhale, knees bend. Everyone hold your last planks. Finishing is as strong as we started. Last 8, 7, 6. Find lots of length and breath for 3. This is 2. And allow the knees to come down. Amazing job. You did it already. We're going to use those sliders to assist us with our stretching today. We're going to start with the child's pose, and we have made it. All right, so hands are on the gliders. You're going to keep your big toes touching, and your knees are going to open wide like this. If that's not comfortable for your knees, just keep your hips up higher off of your heels. Hands go onto the sliders, and we're going to inhale as we allow the arms to reach long in front of us. Now, as if your arms were wet spaghetti noodles, okay? So really don't think about putting much weight in them. We're gonna allow the abdominals to lift us as we exhale and round. Keep working. I'm gonna demonstrate from the side. We're gonna inhale as we lengthen all the way out. Exhale, think about lifting from under your ribs. Exhale, round and lift, and the arms are just kind of dragging along as an accessory. Inhale as we unwind. Let's take our arms to the right. So we keep our pelvis square, and we're gonna turn our arms to the right. Exhale, stretching through the side of the hip and the side body. Rounding up. Inhale as we unwind. Again, exhale, rounding from under the ribs. We're at a rotated orientation. Inhale as we unwind. Let's go ahead and sweep it to the left. So now we're going to have our hands to the left side of the body. Exhale as you round and lift, stretching through the right side of the hip now. Stretching through the right side of the waistline. Inhale as the arms come long. Exhale as you round. Come all the way up. Let's hold one last child's pose through the center. Hold and breathe in that child's pose with your arms long. I like to think about my breath, adding space between the vertebra or even separating the lower back from the upper back. So give yourself one more generous breath. Really exhale any tension you're feeling in your body. And on that inhale, see if you can open up space on the back side of the body. Slowly rise all the way up, lifting from under your ribs, and you have done it. Beautiful job, you guys. Thanks so much for working out with me today and staying safe.